Hello, everyone.
Hello?
Why do I always laugh?
I don't know.
I just want to do a normal
It's
introduction.
just a staple now. It's just
No, I just can't take myself
hi,
seriously.
and then a little giggle.
It just gives me like a bit of the ick. Hello, everyone. Come on, we need to get straight into it.
Sorry. We waffle too much.
Right, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to That Gym Couple podcast. Don't laugh.
Sorry. I wasn't laughing.
Right,
at you.
I think every week we just need to. I'll say that, and you say hosted by Callum and Lucy. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go again. Just stop making me laugh. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to That Gym Couple podcast.
Hosted by Callum and Lucy.
We've realised that we've shown up wearing the exact same outfit tonight.
Like the exact same outfit.
I mean, slightly different shades of grey, but
yeah.
worrying nevertheless.
We do this far too often.
Like, we don't live together.
We don't coordinate outfits.
We have plenty of clothes, and he walks through my front door and we're like, we're wearing the same branded hoodie. Thankfully not the same trackies, but very similar.
White socks.
You've got a black top on, I've got a black sports bra on underneath.
Yeah, we just can't help it.
Do you know what? It's absolutely freezing, hence why we're both in hoodies and trackies. It's suddenly got so cold. Like, it feels very wintry, doesn't it?
Yeah, like the temperature's dropped in the last day, definitely.
Yeah, it's massively dropped. And you would think we'd be used to the cold weather having just come back from Copenhagen, which was freezing.
But I don't think it was much colder there than it was here.
Yeah, I guess
I think
was
the weather was quite
similar.
The temperature was quite similar.
And we were to be fair, we were probably dressed much more appropriately in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Like, we knew it was cold and we knew we were going to be out
Big coats
all day. Yeah. Scarves, hats. Well, you weren't
You
wearing
got
a
some
scarf.
mittens.
Yep, some mittens.
Some little mittens.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was definitely we were prepared for the weather. But I think the country itself in like Denmark is just prepared for the weather. Like, all the doors were automatic. They just closed, and they were heavy doors. So you walk through and it would just be like, bam.
What's that got to do with the weather?
What keeps the heat in?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Here, everyone leaves doors open. Like, we live on
We're just not as smooth running.
It's not clean.
Yeah. Well, anyway, update. We just got back from Copenhagen.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
Thursday to Monday.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, it was amazing. We did about 20,000 steps every single day. We were honestly exhausted, weren't we? Like, I love a city break. I love it. But, God, they're exhausting, aren't they?
I was chatting to my barber today. Got a nice
fresh trim.
Fresh trim.
Yeah.
And he's going in March.
Nice.
And so I was chatting to him about it, and I was just saying that, yeah, basically, you go on a city break and it's just, you get up, don't you? And we were out the door by 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we were out until pretty much 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you're out for 12 hours.
And we were really trying to be like,
yeah.
It would be like 7 o'clock and we'd look at our watches like, we can't
go back to the hotel room.
We can't go home and watch a film now. We've got to do something else. But we were so tired.
So, yeah, 8 o'clock rolls around and we're like,
maybe we could
go back.
We could walk back slowly, and then it'd be more like 9 by the time we get back.
The thing is, because we're not massive drinkers.
Yeah.
We'd had a few drinks and stuff, and
yeah,
we did about 20,000 steps and 20,000 calories a day, but
balance.
Yeah, I think because we're not massive drinkers, we weren't staying out late just drinking.
No, and we're not really like, we wouldn't really just go to a bar. I think we were just so full up the whole time. After we'd eaten, we just wanted to go to sleep.
How good was the food, though?
Oh my God. I can't explain the food that we ate. Let's give a proper rundown because...
Can I just say, for somewhere that has, I think it's like 15 or 16 Michelin stars across the city.
Yeah.
We picked the most obscure places, and every single one of them was just phenomenal.
Let me put it this way. If it was deep fried, we were eating it.
Yeah. Or just, I think every day had like a little different vibe. So the city's split up into different kind of areas. So each day we were exploring a different one to some degree.
And most of what we decided to do each day revolved around the food we were going to have.
Yeah.
So is that normal?
Lucy would be like, well, there was a couple of days. So like 2 of the days we were like, okay, we're going to go to this museum, or we went to the National Museum of Denmark and then the Design Museum the next day. So that was like our main little thing, wasn't it? Activity that day. Yeah, so we'd obviously do the activity, but then we'd be like, what's for lunch? So then I'd have this little list of places, didn't I? And
you did so good.
Oh, this place looks good, but this place looks good. What do you fancy? And you'd be like, oh, I could do with a bit of Italian. And then we'd like, oh, let's go to this Italian place for some lunch.
Because obviously when you're staying...
that was amazing Italian
The best
food.
Italian we've ever had. But when you're staying in a hotel, obviously you're out for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So, not that we're complaining, but we just ate so much food and we did not hold back for a second. We had pastries for breakfast every day.
Every day.
That was a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Some of the pastries we had, oh wow.
The Juno was hilarious.
Juno was great. Oh my god, how long did we queue for? There's a bakery called Juno.
So we got to this random little area that's just, residential area. There's not really much up there.
Got the metro there. Walked
about 5 minutes down the road, and we're walking down this street going, like, where could it be? Like, where is it? It's somewhere down here.
There was no signpost for it.
No signs or anything. And then we just see this queue going out the road, out this building, onto the road, then halfway down the next road. And we're like, I think that might be it.
Yeah. And did we wait in the queue? Yeah, we did.
Was it amazing?
Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing, and to be fair to them, they are expanding. So they were in like a tiny little bakery. But it would have been really nice to sit down, get a coffee, really enjoy it. Whereas a lot of these places were like, you just go in, grab your pastry and go. So we had to kind of eat it.
I guess that's kind of the culture. Of the road. But I feel like with Juno, my one gripe was there wasn't a lot of options. And that
maybe
might
that's
be because
it's small.
Because they were expanding, but there wasn't a lot of options there.
I loved Buka. I think that was my favourite.
Buka was fantastic.
And we also went to the oldest bakery in Copenhagen. That was
good. Which again was fantastic.
Oh, you had that like Nutella filled. I don't even know what it was.
No, I don't even remember what it was.
Oh, like the coffee was great. Croissant. Almond croissants.
Yeah. Oh, the almond croissants were insane.
What else did we have? Oh, the cinnamon swirl. Oh my god, no, we could go on forever. We can't.
Even things like that cardamom roll that we're not big cardamom fans, but it tasted so good.
Yeah. And we found a food market, which you found, which was so good, where we had, oh my god, the best. When I say chicken nuggets, gourmet.
They were like
chicken nuggets.
I was queuing for so long for them though.
This big, you queued for about 40 minutes for them, but again, worth it.
Yeah, I felt so sorry for the two. There was just 2 guys in there, just they'd take they take like 5 orders on at a time and cook it all up, send it out. It was all fresh. It was all so good.
It was so good.
But yeah.
And then we had these burgers it's a really cool like gas station it used to be a petrol station and they've changed it into. It's still a petrol station, but it's called Gasoline Grill.
How'd you pay for your fuel there?
I don't know if it genuinely was or if that's just their cars, maybe?
Nah, it was...
Like the petrol tanks and whatever you call it was still there, but they're like operating it's like a burger van, basically.
It's literally just a little burger shack.
You basically eat it on the side of the road at a petrol station.
Again, massive queue.
Sounds vile, but... Yeah, massive queue. But then a lot of the things we went to, we'd like researched or we found on TikTok.
Yeah, that's true. There was
obviously a hype popular. For it,
and they were some of them are very touristy places. Like there was a lot of people from all over, but some of them were just little places that we sort of found or saw that was good.
Stumbled upon
taco place.
Oh, that was oh.
And then the first night we went to this place called War Pigs.
Oh my gosh,
which was so good. It's like American Danish barbecue food, and
insane.
Yeah, it was.
It was like this beef brisket that had obviously been smoked. Was it smoked?
Yeah, I guess it was smoked.
And if anyone's seen the film Chef, when they go to New Orleans and they get that beef brisket out and it's like all charred on the outside and black.
Bark on it,
it's like it looks gross really, but then they slice it and oh my god, it just melts in your mouth. We had mac and cheese. Can you believe this is a fitness podcast?
Pulled pork. Oh, it was so good.
We told you we are foodies, and honestly, that holiday was just all about eating food, and I don't regret a second of it.
It was also like, we were only there for 4.5 days, roughly.
Yeah, I mean, we only had Thursday dinner there, and then it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
But it felt so much longer, and I guess because we were literally eating out breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah, and like by the time Saturday had rocked up, we were a little bit more versed on like how the metro worked and how to get around and where we're going, and
it takes about like 24 hours, I'd say, to kind of get your bearings, doesn't it? And figure out how everything works.
Because like each different area was so different.
Yeah.
That's what I really enjoyed, and it was just the metro was so clean.
And the people were so kind.
Yeah.
And so helpful. Yeah, just a great place. I highly recommend if anyone's thinking of going.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we would probably go back, to be honest, maybe in the summer.
Yeah,
to see it in a
different city in the summer.
Yeah, so. Very different. And the only annoying thing is, I don't really know why we're going into so much detail about this, but we went slightly too early to do Tivoli Gardens, which was a real shame because they were setting up for the Christmas market, so we weren't able to do that. But hey ho, we'll go back in the summer.
Yeah, like we still got some Christmas markets though. They had them throughout the city. So
yeah, we had a bratwurst,
festive lights. Yeah, it wasn't great.
No, not compared to all the other food we had.
Worst part of the holiday, really.
You're right. Yeah, but anyway, we thought in today's episode, which is episode 4 now, we would kind of touch on. We're going to kind of keep this episode a little bit shorter because we know the last episode was quite a long one. So thank you if you did listen to it. But we thought we'd talk a little bit about the fact that we have been away and we were obviously completely off plan. We weren't tracking calories or macros. Yes, we had a very high step count every day. But I guess we thought it would be interesting and potentially helpful to talk about how we manage these sorts of situations and how it's best to still navigate your goals and be okay with doing those things and getting back on top of it, I guess, getting back on top of your goals.
I think, from where we were before we went away, like you've just transitioned into a different, so you've gone into a sort of strength and muscle gaining phase of your training.
What now?
Now, so
I'm about
post holiday, before your holiday, you were cutting, you were, or at least like eating below maintenance.
Well. Yeah. I was being more conscious of calories.
It was just a tidy up phase, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah.
It wasn't really intense, but so your training has now split the other way, flipped the other way since we've come back.
Which is kind of hard actually, because when you come back from a holiday after eating so much food, your brain automatically is like, and I'm not advising this at all, but we're all human at the end of the day. Your brain sort of goes, oh, I probably need to kind of compensate a little bit, which you don't have to at all, but you sort of think, especially coming home and being like, right, now I'm going to start a reverse diet. I'm going to eat more. Give me the veg. I need to cut back on what I've been eating. I need to make sure I do lots of cardio. I need to get back to my workouts, because you do feel a bit gross. Like you feel a little bit bloated, a little bit sluggish. We weren't probably drinking enough water while we were there. Don't think we ate a vegetable the whole time. And we obviously didn't do workouts, and we were eating a lot of food. So you come back and you don't feel great.
Yeah.
And I think from my experience, especially with being a coach and my own experience, I think when you come back from a holiday, whether it is a city break or whatever it is, a longer holiday, you can kind of go two ways. Either you are so motivated and you feel really gross and you feel a little bit guilty for overindulging, so you go crazy that way and you start overdoing it. You overdo the cardio, you start cutting your calories too much to overcompensate, or you find it really difficult to get back on top of things, and the holiday mindset kind of just continues. And
and then before you know it, you've skipped a few sessions, and then you're like,
maybe the weight piles on a little bit.
Yeah, it's so easy to slip into it. And that's definitely, I guess that's where my mindset is a little bit. I wasn't enjoying my training that much before we went, and I needed the break.
Yeah. That much is true.
I said to you now that I was, this week I was like, do you know what? Like I'm not gonna push myself to go back to train this week if I think my body still needs the rest. I mean, I did like arms today, but that was just to see more for my mental state. Like, am I mentally ready to train at the moment? Like, if I had a proper session, would I want to do it? or do I just need to take that step back and not push myself into this burnout after I've come back
just
from
because you feel you should.
Yeah, exactly.
I think as well, like, it's not as if we went on a beach holiday where we were just sat by a pool every day relaxing. We were, obviously it was still a holiday, it was lovely, but we were on our feet all day. Like, our calves are so sore from walking and our legs are like just sore. We're just tired from doing so much.
Could not do a leg day.
No, I was meant to today and I just thought, no, I'm going to do back instead. But I haven't had great sessions since I've been back. I've gone back, but I do feel like I almost need a couple of days just to rest a little bit more before I go back. But
yeah, and I mean, we will over the weekend, but more social plans.
Yeah, again,
it's non-stop this time of the year, isn't it?
I know, and I think a lot of people probably be feeling a similar way, whether they've started their fitness journey or think, oh, there's no point starting right now because I've got this and that and so on. And it's true, like, social plans do obviously get in the way, but it doesn't mean that you have to stop everything.
No, it doesn't mean you can't start doing stuff as well. If you start in any capacity, it's going to help. Yeah,
and like you said, like, it doesn't necessarily be that, let's take getting back from a holiday, for example. It doesn't have to be that you get back and you go straight back into 5 training days a week and whatever amount of calories and 10,000 steps. Maybe it's just that you just ease yourself back in slowly. Maybe you do 2 or 3 workouts that week, see how they go. Maybe it's not even workouts. Maybe it's just going to the gym, but doing some stretching, some mobility, some steps on the treadmill. I don't know.
I did that today. My hips feel amazing.
Do they? I need to do that.
I did a whole 20-minute, half hour just stretching routine.
And that still kind of feels like you've done, like, even just mentally, you've moved your body a little bit. You've done something for you.
Got the blood flowing. Just concentrating on the areas that I was feeling after walking so much around Copenhagen.
I don't know.
Copenhagen, I think it is.
Yeah, but I think personally, I feel like the key is just getting back to routine. Like I said, it doesn't have to be full on, but I believe that that's why I'm able to still have social events, still go on holidays, and it not completely derail my progress, because it's a week at the end of the day. Like, if you think about the amount of effort you put in across the year, 1 week of that, 1 week here and there throughout the year, however many times you go away, is not going to completely ruin all your progress, as long as when you get back to it. You sit down, you make a plan, you get your food shop ready, and you get back to it. That's consistency.
I'd argue that making the plan is beneficial before as well.
Yeah.
So before you go away, it doesn't have to be like, oh, when I come back, I'm going to do this, that, and that, because you just won't. You won't do it. But it's knowing that, planning stuff before you go away. So when you are away, you've got that sort of time frame where you don't have to think about stuff.
Yeah.
So when you come back, everything's already in place. You've got your plan in place. You know what your food you're going to need to
or maybe
go
you've got
and buy,
food being delivered and you set that up before you go away.
That would be smart. That's what we should have done.
Yeah, we should have done that.
But yeah, things like that would definitely help get you back into a routine. And also knowing that obviously if you've got plans for a weekend, it's not even a week, is it? It's a couple of days. So if you're going to eat or drink or, go off plan, if you've got a plan, or you're going to overindulge on the weekend. I'm going to overindulge this weekend because your mum's cooking. So, I'm looking forward to all of that. And I'm going to put on a load more weight since last week.
No, you're not. You're going to put on water. You're not going to put on fat.
Of course. But, I know that that's the case this weekend. So during the week, I'm making those little sacrifices here and there and going, do you know what? Like, do I need that extra, couple of grams of Biscoff spread?
Or could I do a few more thousand steps?
Something else? Or could I replace that with something else?
Yeah.
Could I have honey instead? Or, some sort of other substitute that is lower in calorie, up my activity where I'm not training, it's a little bit harder. But yeah, potentially concentrate on my steps a little bit more, do some cardio, stretch, just make myself feel better in general.
Yeah.
And yeah, then when it comes to the weekend, obviously it's a lot easier to.
And I think as well, you can manage social events in different ways. And I talk to my clients about this all the time. It's like, that's one approach, is kind of forward planning the week before it happens. So take this week, for example, like you said, making those little sacrifices, potentially, you know, not dropping your calories, but just making little sacrifices throughout the day, or increasing your activity to, what's the word? Not compensate, but mitigate the damage, I guess, is what I kind of mean, of that weekend. That's one approach. Or potentially you just think to yourself, do you know what, I'm going to just do everything as I normally would this week. I'm going to enjoy the weekend knowing that it's just a couple of days. I'll be straight back on it on Monday. That's also fine. Or if you are much more kind of committed to a goal, maybe you've got a photo shoot coming up, or something's really important, but also this family event you've got is really important. For me this weekend, it's my sister's 30th. Really important to me. Obviously, I'm going. You could go and think to yourself, right, again, obviously it depends on the situation, but you could take some meal prep. We're going down to Dartmouth. We could take meal prep with us. We're not going to, because we're not that committed to a goal right now. But if we were, I've done it before. When I was doing a photo shoot last summer, I went to events and actually took my meal prep with me, or I ate before I went. But that's different. That depends how committed you want to be to the goal.
In that situation though, how would you advise? Because a lot of people aren't, your family's very understanding, but a lot of people aren't. A lot of family and friends aren't. And there is a lot of social pressure in those situations. I appreciate a lot of people who, when you get to the point where you are taking meal prep to...
Yeah. I mean, maybe not to a restaurant.
No, of course, but I know people who do. Like, really? I know people who have, because, you know, they are that committed to their goals. But then, because they're that committed, no one's batting an eyelid. You know, no one's questioning it. They're just kind of going, that's so-and-so. You know, that's their goals. That's what they want to achieve.
That's the friends and that's the people you want in your life.
Yeah, exactly.
And we touched on this on, I think it was episode 2. The people in your life, I truly do believe, that love you and support you will be supportive. Yes, it's probably very different. They probably will not get it. Like if I did that, my mum would be supportive, but she'd probably be like, that's very strange. Yeah. But because maybe it is to some people. Anyone that loves you, if you say to them, this is not forever, this is because I am working towards this specific goal that's really important to me, and it means a lot to me that I see this through, and to see it through I have to give it my all, and that means bringing my own meals, or that means eating before, that means coming out but not having an alcoholic drink, and I need you all to not be forcing tequila shots in my face or making me feel guilty about the fact that I'm not eating. Anyone that genuinely loves you will say, fair enough, fair play, like I respect that. And if they don't, maybe question who's in your life. I know that sounds a bit brutal, but why would you have people in your life that don't support what you're trying to do with your life? As long as it's healthy and you are doing it in a healthy and safe way. If you're doing it not in a safe way, obviously a good friend again would probably question your actions. But yeah, I think going back to how we could manage this weekend if we wanted to, we could take some meal prep with us. We could have a look at the menu of the pub we're going to on Saturday night beforehand.
Make better choices.
Pick what we're going to have before we even get there. So we're not even tempted to pick something else. So we are aware of what's...
It's gone off.
Brilliant. Guys, we're so shit at podcasting.
I've no idea how much
you probably noticed in, what was it, the last episode? No,
episode
2. We realised halfway through that the camera had run out of memory.
And we only had about 5 minutes worth of footage.
So that's why on YouTube, if anyone watches it on YouTube, there was no video on episode 2. And we've just realised that it's done the same. We are so sorry, we're the most terrible hosts. It must have run out of memory.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're listening on Spotify, so it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, which I think most of you do, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
so
for those
fine.
who do like watching, we promise we will get better. I bought my camera, wasn't charged. Lucy's got her camera. It was
obviously run out of memory.
Full of other stuff. So between us, we've absolutely nailed this, haven't we?
God. So sorry, guys. And we're back.
We managed to
sort
the video out for those who do watch. And we do apologise for however long it was out for. I don't think it was that long. I think it might have been just...
Do you know what it is? We get so engrossed in the conversation. We don't even... You're always looking down at that and checking our audio, but you never look up at the camera.
I don't check the camera, no.
It's a bit weird because I don't want to just look directly at the camera. But for some reason, we just didn't notice the red flashing light had just gone off. So, yeah. Why is it like that?
Oh, it's just a bit smaller because it's... Okay. It's fine.
But yeah, anyway, we're back.
We are back.
Sorry about that, guys. We will improve at some point.
So, yeah, I think as we were saying, it's just finding the things that work for you in terms of your goals and how you want to approach staying on plan, how committed you are to staying on plan as well is a massive factor. You know, if you're just training because you enjoy training, it makes you feel good, and you've got no real aspirations to get lean or I guess even like grow, or just generally what you're eating isn't really, you're not that fussed about, you just enjoy the training side of things, don't beat yourself up about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And conversely, if you are committed to whatever your goals are, don't beat yourself up about it. It's fine.
Yeah. I think as well, it depends how many social events are we talking. Like, there's some people who literally have plans every single weekend, like proper social butterflies. Fair play to you. I can't do it. I'm like a extrovert introvert. I'm very extroverted and confident, but I really need my downtime to like recharge. And some people genuinely have plans every weekend, and it makes it, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you are trying to lose body fat and you have plans that cause you to go off plan every single weekend and you don't give it a second thought, it's going to slow your progress down eventually. It doesn't matter how on it you are in the week. If you are completely going overboard on your calories every weekend, and I'm talking Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, like, it's going to impact your progress. It's going to hold you back. However, if it's only every now and then, you know, you don't drink that often, but every now and then you have a bit of a blowout, or you just have a family meal and it's just the one meal on a Saturday night, the rest of the weekend's on plan. But I don't think that's going to, and I know that's not going to hold you back that much. That is like a drop in the ocean compared to all the other days that you are giving it 100%. So, you know, there has to be, again, that word that we always say, there has to be a balance. You have to decide what sacrifices you're willing to make to get to that goal. And I think as long as you don't fall into the all or nothing mindset, you'll probably be okay. Because that's what trips people up a lot of the time. It's, oh, I've gone out for dinner with some friends. I've ruined everything. I've eaten off plan. I've eaten too much.
Flick the fuck it switch.
Fuck it button has been activated. Yeah. And then you just go,
I shouldn't have eaten that chocolate that I definitely shouldn't have bought because it's not on my plan.
And now I've done that.
I've had a row of dairy milk. Well, I might as well have another row now.
I might as well eat the whole bar.
And the whole family-sized bar's gone.
And then maybe even the next day you think, well, I ruined it yesterday. Yeah. What is the point? I'll just carry on ruining it.
It's Thursday. I'll just reset on Monday.
Classic.
That's the, you know... Why Monday? Why is it always Monday? It's just easy for us to think about, isn't it?
It's the start of the week, isn't it? It's like fresh start.
Like, start again. But it's like New Year's resolutions. I'll start next year. Like, people we think about their resolutions now, going, I'll just do it. I'll just do it in January. I'll get Christmas out of the way.
Well,
start
do it now.
If you're only doing even if you're just doing a little bit, like
literally. I don't know if I've used this analogy already, but I use it to my clients all the time. They're probably sick of me saying it. But if you're trying to get to the top of the stairs in a house, you need to get to the room that's at the top of the stairs. You don't click your fingers and you're suddenly at the top of the stairs and you've done every single step. No, you have to do one step at a time to get to the top of the staircase. Stop telling yourself you have to do everything all at once. You don't have to climb the whole staircase. You have to take the first step, then the next step, then the next step, and then build it and build it and build it until it works and it feels great and it's happening naturally.
If you have to take a step backwards, that's absolutely fine.
But don't throw it all away. And that's such a good thing.
Yeah.
If you do take a step back, or if something slips, or if...
Just stop there, look at your perspective, look where you are, look how far you've come, and start
reassess.
again.
Yeah, and go to yourself, right. And also maybe assess why it happened. If it was just, I was out with my friends, I said I wasn't going to drink, it kind of was an exciting time and I actually wanted to drink when I got there, and then I had another drink and then another drink and then I ordered food and then the next day I was hungover, and okay, fine, it's happened, that's fine, just move on and get back on top of it. And
no one should make you feel guilty.
No,
about
we make ourselves feel guilty though, don't we?
About slipping up either.
No.
What my sister said, like, you know, if you fail, no one's going to come over and take away your like club card membership and be like, sorry, you're out the club.
Yeah.
You messed up one too many times now. You know, you can't try it again. No one cares.
It's your journey.
Cares. It's your journey. No one actually cares about who's doing what and why they're doing it. Human beings are pretty selfish people. We're like pretty selfish creatures, to be honest. A lot of us focus on ourselves or our immediates around us who we care about. And for the most part, if you've slipped up and you're beating yourself up, you're probably the person who's beating yourself up the most.
Yeah.
So
no one else
just
is beating you
take
up.
a step back, look at the perspective, analyze why it might have happened, try and process what you could do to prevent that from happening again.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Take
that first step again.
That's a really good point, because a lot of the time, you know, if it's been the situation where we say slipped up, like you haven't slipped up, you haven't made a mistake, you just, you know, you overate, for example, like it's fine, but potentially that happened because of maybe that was an emotional reaction to something. Maybe you got home after a really long day at work, you know, it was a bit of a shit day and you wanted some food for comfort. We've all done it. We all do it. Food is comforting. Fine. Maybe you had an argument with your boyfriend, so you went to the cupboard and had some chocolate. These are all emotional responses that you are turning to food to fill that kind of void and to make you feel better. Yeah, if that happens every now and then, fine. As I said, we're all humans. We all do that. But what I always think to myself is that food going to make me genuinely feel better? Is it going to make my day might make your day a little bit better, some chocolate, that's fine. But if every single time something bad happens or something stressful happens or you feel anxious or whatever it is, you're turning to food and kind of overindulging, it's probably not going to actually cure the emotion. It's not going to make you make up with your partner. It's not going to make work better. It's not going to make you any less anxious. So I always say to my clients, let's try and actually process the emotion that you're feeling in that moment. I mean, I'm no therapist, but it works every time. It's uncomfortable to sit in that emotion, of course it is, but if you can and just go, actually, going to the crisp cupboard right now is not going to take my stress away. Going outside for a walk probably will. Or having a nice hot bath, calling a friend.
I completely agree. And it's very similar to stress factors, a lot of it. So it's how to deal with stress.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole nother...
And that's a really big pillar in fat loss, managing your own stress.
But I think it comes back to that preparation and being aware of the things that can cause you to slip up or cause you to come back from your holiday and continue on a destructive path of consuming everything you see in sight. And, you know, for instance, if you keep going back to the crisp drawer and you know that they're a big issue for you, stop buying crisps.
Honestly, I remember growing up, there was always like a snack drawer.
We never had a snack drawer.
Didn't you?
No.
We had a snack drawer.
We had like knockoff Froobs, and it would be like a, you know, mum, I'm hungry, and it would be like a,
Don't out your mum.
There's yogurts in the fridge or there's fruit in the bowl, and that was that.
Wow.
There was
that's great.
Yeah, but there was no like, you know, and I'd go around to friends' houses and there'd be these drawers full of
I couldn't have that now. If I had that now, I'd be going into it all the time.
But
I just don't buy it.
It used to baffle me why my friends didn't. I'd go around to theirs after school or whatever, and we'd rock up and they'd be like, "Oh, do you want anything from the drawer?" And I'd be like, "There's this drawer full of crisps and sweets and chocolates." And I'd be like,
"I can't believe you didn't have that. Are you all right?"
"Oh, I didn't ask my mum. Probably couldn't afford it." She was, both my parents, to be honest. Like,
are you tearing up?
No. Well, I'm okay. I can buy all the chocolates I want now.
Oh, that explains a lot.
It doesn't.
Oh, has this turned into a little therapy session?
No.
Ooh.
But no, what I was saying was just don't
buy it.
Don't buy it. Don't. I know it's not easy. Yeah, exactly. Don't go for the temptations.
Yeah.
I know it's not necessarily easy. Like, there's some people out there who have partners and family members, friends, kids that they have to provide these sort of things for, but there are alternative solutions. There's ways that you can prevent yourself from being able to have these temptations in front of you. It's all good, it's still recording.
Every 2 seconds I'm like, oh.
Yeah, just check if that red light's still on. Yeah, you can. There are preventative measures that can be put in place.
Yeah, and I think if you can do anything to kind of, like say, prevent you falling into that all or nothing mindset where, that I know the snack drawer's there. I've had a long day. I mean, by the way, we're not saying any of this to make anyone think that what you're doing is wrong. We are all human beings and we all enjoy food and whatever it is. But if you are feeling like you are struggling and your fat loss is being held up by something, it's important to look at what it is that is holding you back.
Or if you've just come back from a holiday yourself and you're beating yourself up because you haven't been able to get back on track.
Yeah.
It might not have been a holiday, could have been any social event, could have just been you've had a week off the gym because you were struggling. Maybe you burnt out and now you're struggling to actually back up and go again. It happens all the time. One of my clients, he's been struggling himself with I won't go into details because obviously that's his information, but some personal things he's going through right now, and he has been struggling with his training, with his diet, but his training, he was saying, was the one thing that has actually been consistent and has been helping him because he's been able to focus on that as opposed to the negative aspects of his life. But he was struggling with his diet. So, today we spoke in his check-in about what he could do to make that a little bit easier. Where we can dial back, where we can push on things that are a little bit harder, a little bit easier for him at the moment, so you can give that bit of leeway. And he's turning a negative thing into a really positive thing, and being able to see that, I didn't need to even coach him. A lot of the stuff he came to the conclusions himself as well, but just by talking to him about it, he was able to understand that he can make little changes here and there and adjustments, and suddenly that the issues that he's been dealing with aren't as big, and he's able to still achieve the things he wants to achieve.
Yeah, and I guess as well for him, it's probably like he's probably beating himself up because he's not doing everything perfectly. He's not ticking every single box, and obviously it's great if you can tick every single box. But I think we said last week, sometimes you just got to do the things you can do. If something's going on in your life that's really difficult and it's causing your diet to not be in the best place, but the training is really great, fantastic.
Yeah.
Keep going with that. Do the things you can control. It's like when my clients say to me that they've come down with a really bad cold or something, or work has got crazy busy and they just don't have time to work out. We'll sit and go, okay, what do you have time to do? Let's not that's not a time to put more pressure on. That is a time to sit down and go, right, so what can we control? We can't control the fact that work's got really, really busy and you just don't have time to get to the gym. It's not ideal, but we can't control it for the time being. So what can we control? Okay, we can control your diet. We can control what foods you eat. Let's focus on that. We can control that you are able to go out for a walk 2 times a day. Brilliant. Let's focus on that. We can also focus on getting a good night's sleep. All these other things to focus on.
And if you can focus on those things, if you improve one aspect of your life,
the others will come.
Whether it's once a week, once a month, you're going to make things better.
100%. Sorry, I just need a drink.
like glass straw in a glass. Oh, that's for anyone listening. It's gonna be headphones in, like bleeding ears.
You always say that. These mics aren't that loud.
Oh, I don't know. It's a clangy noise.
Yeah, so I feel like that's probably a good place to start to wrap things up. We've only really discussed one topic, I guess, this episode. But I hope that it's helped in some way. And also just to remind you guys again, and like partly why we started this podcast, is that we are not perfect. No one is. Like, perfection doesn't exist. And if you have a goal you want to achieve, don't let the illusion of perfection stop you from getting there, because I think sometimes we can get so caught up in doing everything perfectly that it actually ends up holding us back because we can't get there.
That's the the saying, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. I always say this to you because, for those who are perfectionists, for those who just want to do the best they can, that, doing something very well is still amazing. And sometimes that ideology that everything's got to be perfect kind of takes away from the good that you've done and the things that people have done that they don't quite see themselves because it's not perfect. So, and
trying to do too many things perfectly and then actually ending up doing none of them well is a lot worse than just doing most of the things really, really well. And if you can crack that, you'll be well on your way. You'll be doing it automatically before you know it. And obviously, if anyone, oh my God, I just got really bad tinnitus. Is that what it is? When it goes,
it just starts ringing.
God, why does that happen?
There's a fly in your ear.
No, don't say that. That's quite scary. It must be something in your brain. Anyway, obviously we've just got back from holiday. We're getting back on it this week. Struggling, we'll be honest. We are struggling getting back on it. Our sessions haven't been great. We're still exhausted.
And that's okay though. And we know that that's just part of the process. And
it's not going to last forever. It's temporary.
We could go to the gym tomorrow and have a better session.
We're just going to keep showing up and hoping for the best.
Yeah, that's all we do.
And we know it will get better. But if anyone obviously does need any help and is interested in coaching, just remember you can head to my Instagram, LoveLucyFit, or Callum's. What is yours again? You've just changed it, haven't you? Callum
_ Treacher Coaching.
Yeah.
I believe.
Or I think we're both probably tagged on that Gym Couple podcast.
Yeah,
anyway.
we are. We're definitely tagged in the thing. We also are the only two people that the account follows.
Yeah. But if you want to speak to either of us about coaching, drop us a message. Or if you just want your fitness related questions answered on the podcast, remember to send us a message.
Send them in.
We haven't got any messages from listeners this week, but I did get a message from someone actually when we were on holiday. Let me find it. Here it is. So she actually asked if we could talk on the podcast a little bit about... So she said, I'd love you guys to talk about how to be polite in the gym, but how to deal with people who won't stop talking to you. She said, I know it sounds mean, but the other day this guy had really rubbed me up the wrong way. He commented on the fact that I'm 27 and said, shouldn't I at least be pregnant by now? Time to settle down. And he's actually older than me. And he's always commenting on how little time I spend in the gym if I'm only there for an hour. He calls me a part-timer. But the reason I can't train for longer is because by the time I get back from London, it's like 7 and he won't stop talking to me. Maybe I just need to be straight up and tell him.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it sounds like he probably actually has a crush on you if he's
maybe.
If he's always aware of how much time you're spending in the gym, that's very weird.
A little bit creepy, actually.
Yeah, so he's probably... That's
also,
that's
why? What's it to him?
Yeah, no, exactly. It doesn't matter. I'm probably not the best for giving advice on this, because if someone is annoying me, you've probably realised this by now. If someone's annoying me to the point that I just can't deal with them, I just simply won't deal with them anymore. I'll be very short with them. I unfortunately for me, wear my emotions on my sleeve a lot of the time, and if I don't want to talk to someone,
what would you say though? Like, I think in that scenario,
I think I'm just very short with them, like just by nature.
You kind of just don't really respond. You're just like, yeah.
But it's different because if I'm working, then obviously I kind of have to be a little bit more talkative. Like there's some people for instance, today I was topping up soaps in the soap dispensers in the showers.
What a thrilling life you do.
I know,
lead.
but someone had to do it, and there was just a man talking to me completely naked. He was wearing a towel at one point, and then he asked me a question, and I turned around and he was naked, and I was like, well, he was just talking about
soap,
the showers, and he was asking which one was warm, and I was like, this is a really awkward time to be having this conversation. Like, you were just wearing a towel, just put the towel back on. But in that situation, I couldn't, because he's a member, I couldn't just be like, nah, mate, like I'm not.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, that was very awkward. But
what, you just had it all hanging out?
Yeah.
Fair. Confidence.
Yeah. Too much.
I think if I was her, again, I'm probably a bit too upfront, but that would piss me off. That's really, really rude, especially if he doesn't know you very well. To start commenting on your life choices and your age. Oh my gosh, no. I would genuinely, and like she just said, the reason I'm not there for that long is because I only get back from London at 7 p.m. I would literally say that. I'd be like, well, the reason is because I work long hours. It's really important to me that I get to the gym, but it doesn't mean I have to be here for hours and hours.
And also, it's really important that when I am at the gym, I knuckle down and train and don't just talk to people that I don't want to talk to.
Yeah, because I actually really want to get home and not spend my whole evening at the gym. I want to have a good workout and then I want to get home. Honestly, I mean, you could say it how it is.
You could be as blunt as that.
I would be. And
but
then
I guess it
won't
depends.
Bother you again.
It depends on the situation, doesn't it? It depends on the...
No, I think he's crossed the line. I think
he has.
Rude.
I think he has as well. I think he's been very rude there, but
I do think it's flirting.
Yeah, I definitely think it's flirting or bad flirting. He's going for that whole negging, like, you know, give some negative. What's it called? Negative feedback? Comments.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to sort of.
Like when you're at school and the boys used to like punch you, and that was flirting.
Yeah, kind of. But like a slightly more older version of that.
I just think,
I don't think you can go around punching people just to flirt now.
No, you can't do that now. But I think if he was a married man, had a, in a happy marriage with his wife back home and kids, I don't think he'd be concerning himself with your love life and why you're not married and why you don't have kids and the amount of hours you're spending at the gym. He's obviously flirting with you, or I don't know, bizarre. That's a bizarre
odd behaviour.
Very odd behaviour. I think two ways. Either just say it how it is. If he's rude to you, you don't have to be rude back, but I would just say, do you know what? It doesn't really concern you. It's none of your business. I'd really like to just get on with my workout. Or just politely say, I guess that is polite, to be honest.
My advice would buy some noise cancelling headphones.
I'm sorry.
And just don't take them off when he's talking. Just look, smile, nod.
Yeah, just smile and nod. You don't even have to say anything, and then I think he'll probably get the gist.
Oh, that's such a classic response, isn't it? Someone says something to you, you don't really want to talk to them, you just
can't hear you. Got my
don't
headphones
even
on.
Get that response. Like, just keep the headphones on.
I had an interesting encounter in the gym, just on that topic, where this lovely young boy asked for my number. Bless him. He was 22. No, I think he was younger than that. 21? I'm 26. He must have thought I was younger. Do you know what? I thought fair play. He shoot his shot. Got let down, unfortunately.
Yeah, thank goodness.
It was so sweet, honestly. I think fair play to him. It was a really brave thing to do.
It does take some
kahunas.
Yeah.
Like, he was on the lap. No, there was someone on the lap pull down, and I like had the lap pull down in my eye line for like the longest time, waiting for it to be finished. It was one of the PCs at the gym, and he saw me looking, and he was like, "Do you want it after me?" And I was like, "Yes, please." And he was like, "Okay." So then when he finished, he was like, "Lucy, it's free." So I like ran over to the lap pull down, and then this boy was like, "Oh, I was actually waiting for that. Sorry." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You go for it." And he was like, "Do you want to just jump in?" And I was like, "Do you mind?" And he was like, "Yeah, that'd be amazing." And then I like attached the attachment I was using, and he was like, "I've never used that before. Could you teach me how to do it?"
Oh, the little flirt.
No, but bless him as well to admit that as a guy, to not be like, "I know what I'm doing." He was actually like, "Could you teach me?"
Did he know what he was doing?
It looked pretty good, yeah.
Yeah,
It looked
so
like
he
he
knew
hadn't
what
done
he
it
was
for the
doing.
first time. But why would he say that? He wouldn't say that,
Flirting,
surely.
definitely.
Anyway, so I was like, "Yeah, that looks really good." And then he started asking me a lot of questions. Obviously, I was trying to listen to my music and like do my set. But he kept being like, "So what do you do? Are you at uni?" I was like, "No, I graduated
Forgot to
a long
ask the
time
one
ago."
important question though, didn't he?
Do you have a boyfriend?
Do you have a boyfriend?
Do you know what? I think my kindness sometimes gets misinterpreted as like I'm interested. Not to worry you. I just think I'm really nice, and I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not
understand
a
it.
bitch.
The thing is, you'll chat to anyone, and not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people do in the same way. So
I'm quite smiley as well, and like, you know, he was asking me about what I do. I was like, "I'm an online fitness coach. What about you?" Like, I was being polite. I was like, "What do you do?" And blah 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 blah. And then I was like, "Right, I'm done now. I'm gonna go have a good session." And he was like, "Oh, hang on a sec. Could I get your number?"
oh bless.
I felt so bad. I felt like I'd led him on and then led him down the, what's the word? Down the
path of.
Led him up the. No, I felt terrible because it was so brave, I think. So I think that's a really hard thing to do.
It is, and not many people do it. Not many people would have that approach these days. It's all gone online, isn't it?
You like find someone on Instagram
like
and then do
their
it.
pictures, see if they like them back.
Slide into their DMs.
Yeah.
No, I was like, do you know what I said? I was like, "I'm so sorry, I've actually got a boyfriend." But I was like, "But don't ever lose that trait." I was like, I feel really bad, but yeah, don't ever lose that. I don't feel bad. I bet you don't. But I did just say, I was like, that's a really attractive quality in someone, that they're just that confident. And he was like, I always try and just do it regardless. I was like, don't change.
Regardless?
Like, even if he gets knocked back.
Oh, right.
You know, someone being like, "Sorry, I've got a boyfriend," you might, if he kept getting that response, you'd be like, this is awkward. I'm not going to ask anymore. But I was like, that's really good to be like that.
Yeah. It
was very sweet.
I thought you meant from
Made my day,
from the same person, and I was like, no.
No.
Definitely stop if they say no.
No. I mean, multiple people.
Yeah,
he was like, "No, I'm normally quite confident." I was like, "Yeah, fair play to you," and it was a real compliment.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. You were well chuffed, weren't you?
I was like, "Oh, I'm still desirable."
Of course you are.
Oh,
look at you. Is she gorgeous? Anyway, so we've just got time left for my little facts to teach you some things. So she's snoring, but this week Lucy's actually requested some facts on the Roman Empire.
When we went, just quickly a side note, when we went to the National Museum of Denmark, was he in his element?
I loved it.
He loved it. All the history.
Not enough Viking stuff, but it was like...
The Viking stuff was crossed out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like closed off for some reason. There was a little bit, but
there was a bit
not
on
enough.
the Roman Empire.
There was a bit on the Roman Empire as well, yeah. So... I'm
making a flatbread pizza for dinner, and it's all I can think about. So let's make this snappy.
So here you go. The Romans believed eyelashes fell out from excessive sex. So women would use cosmetics to make their eyelashes look fuller and longer to demonstrate their chastity.
No way is that true. These facts, I'm just like skeptical.
I've got sources for them, apparently.
That's so interesting. Fair play. That was an interesting one. What, because did men find them more desirable if they hadn't had as much sex?
I guess so. Yeah, please. Okay. Next fact. The ancient Romans had a method for choosing the best puppies out of the litter, which involves surrounding a litter with oil-soaked string and setting it on fire. The mother dog would jump over the ring of flames and rescue each puppy one by one. It was believed in order of their merit. So if you were like, oh, which puppy's
I've
best?
actually got tears.
Make a little fire around some puppies and send the mum in. Whichever one she gets out first, that's the one you want.
What, because the mum knows?
I don't know. Like, I assume because they
didn't
thought
leave
that...
any to burn.
No, of course not. It was just like around them. They wouldn't like set the puppies on fire. It was just like a piece of string around them. It wasn't like roaring flames. Like, it was just a bit of string.
Oh, poor puppies.
But yeah.
Right, come on then.
Trying to find a good one. Okay.
Shall I do some ASMR?
When Julius Caesar died, he left today's equivalent of about $270 to each and every Roman citizen.
Wow.
What a good leader. Imagine that. Like,
I mean, you couldn't do that nowadays, but...
No, but imagine that, like, just... Well...
It's too many people.
I don't know if it wouldn't really be a royal, it wouldn't work. It'd have to be like Prime Minister dies, just a bit of money. There you go. Everyone gets
that is nice.
Everyone gets 20 quid. We get like a bank holiday now that we both have to work, so it doesn't really benefit us at all.
Yeah. That's an interesting fact, though.
Yeah. There you go.
Who knew the Roman Empire facts would be my favourite?
Oh, there's plenty more where that came from.
God.
I'm going to get some really good ones next week. Roman Empire ones.
I feel like maybe people don't like the facts.
Let me know. Let me know if you like my facts. Please. Otherwise, I will just get rid of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go and eat my flatbread pizza now.
I'm going to not. I've already eaten, so...
Well, that is the end of episode 4.
Thanks for tuning in.
Hope you guys enjoyed this one. We would love to have some of your gym stories, gym fails for next week. If you do have any, please DM us. Because we want to hear them.
We do enjoy hearing them, and we enjoy giving our honest opinions on them.
Yeah. And if there's any questions you've got, let us know. We'll do our best to answer them. Or if there's any topics you'd really like us to discuss, just share them with us. You can find us at That Gym Couple Podcast on Instagram.
And TikTok. And YouTube.
Yeah.
And Spotify.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
Peace.